One of the clearest references to the intermediate state is Revelation 6 verses 9 to 10. Here, John says he saw underneath the altar the souls of those who had been slain because of the word of God, and because of the testimony which they had maintained. And they cried out with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, will you refrain from judging and avenging our blood on those who dwell on the earth? Those described here are certainly disembodied spirits who are fully conscious and who are experiencing the passing of time in anticipation of the final day. That these are the souls of the dead is specifically stated. That they are souls only and not embodied persons is clear from John's specification that they are the souls of those persons who had been martyred. He is not saying that he saw simply some persons, but rather the souls of those persons. That they are conscious is seen in their awareness of their condition and in their question-answer exchange with the Lord. That they are in the flow of time with the judgment day being still in the future is seen in their question, How long? The altar is real and the souls are real. In reference to the intermediate state, the most significant text is 2 Corinthians chapter 5. First, he assures us as Christians that even though our earthly body must die, it will surely be replaced by an eternal heavenly body. He makes this point by combining the figures of living in a house or tent and wearing clothes. At present, we are clothed with an inferior kind of house or dwelling, but after death we shall be clothed with one that is far better. Second, Paul eases our fear of death by assuring us that the circumstances we shall enter then are far better than the ones that prevail while we exist in our present bodies. Specifically, while we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. Speaking for himself, Paul declares that he would much prefer to be absent from the body and to be at home with the Lord. In Philippians 1 verses 21 to 23, here as there, he suggests that in the intermediate state we shall be very much aware of our condition and our surroundings. According to some, however, this is the very issue at stake in the exegesis of this text. Example: does it actually teach the existence of an intermediate state, or does it in fact deny it? Some take the latter view, interpreting the text in terms of instantaneous resurrection. The specific issue is whether the new post-death body, house dwelling, is received immediately at the point of death, or whether there is a delay and thus a period of time during which we exist in an intermediate disembodied state, a state of nakedness. In my judgment, Paul is affirming the latter. He says that we know a new and better house awaits us after death. In fact, we long for it, because we know we will leave this present house behind at death, and we do not want to be homeless or naked. In fact, while we are in this tent, we groan, being burdened, because we do not want to be unclothed, but to be clothed. Now, at this point, we must ask this question. If the instantaneous resurrection view is correct, why does Paul say, "We groan being burdened"? If the new body is to be immediately received, if there is no state of nakedness, then there is no reason to groan. There is no burden to be borne. But Paul says we groan being burdened because we do not want to be unclothed but to be clothed. The only reason or justification for the groaning is that Paul knew this being clothed would not happen immediately. He knew that we shall indeed have to endure an interim state of nakedness. Nevertheless, we can still face death cheerfully and confidently because we know that we shall eventually receive the new body, even though an unnatural state of disembodiment will intervene. Also, if we simply compare our present state of bodily existence with the expected intermediate state of temporary bodilessness, the latter is still preferable because in it we shall actually see the Lord and be in his presence. In conclusion, the inner man, the soul spirit, the seat of personhood, survives the death of the body and continues to exist in a state of consciousness and in a state of anticipation and expectation of the future day of judgment.